Hello everyone. Let us continue with the first chapter, Advanced Web Designing. Today's topic is Introduction to Cascading Style Sheet, CSS. Students, we already know that HTML is used to create the content of the web pages. That means using HTML we can add different elements to the web pages like images, hyperlinks, paragraphs, forms, audio, video, table, lists and many more. But if we want to design the layout of the web pages and make the web page more attractive by adding styles and designs, we have to use CSS. CSS applies the styles and designs to the web pages. For example, let us see a web page where we have used only HTML. We have put different contents on the web page like headings, paragraph, table and image. Now we have modified the same web page and added CSS codes to the HTML file. Now just compare the two web pages. The web page where we have added CSS looks more attractive. We have added different styles to the different elements of HTML. See the first heading, we can see overline for the heading. See the second heading, we are able to change the color of the font, add background color for the text and add border for the text. Look at the paragraph. We are able to use margin on the left hand side of the paragraph. See the table. We have added image at the background of the table. Even the border style is different for the table. See the image. Image has a border and border color can be changed using CSS, which is not possible using HTML tag alone. So now you see the difference between HTML and CSS. Using CSS, we are able to add different styles to the web page which are not possible using HTML tags alone. Now let us see the different types of CSS. There are three types of CSS: inline CSS, internal CSS and external CSS. The very first one, that is inline CSS. We use inline CSS when we want to add style to particular element on a web page. So in this case we use style attribute with an HTML tag. So whichever tag of HTML we want to add styles, we have to use style attribute along with that HTML tag. See the next type of CSS, that is internal CSS. Internal CSS is used when we want to add style to all occurrences of an element on that whole particular web page. So in this case we use a style tag in the head section of HTML document. This style tag is a paired tag and there we use the rule sets. Now Students, in inline CSS and in internal CSS, we are adding CSS codes to the HTML file itself. So the extension of the files is .html. In third type of CSS, that is external CSS, we have to create separate CSS file and then link this separate CSS file to the HTML file. The extension of this CSS file is .css. In this file, there are no HTML tags. Here we have to specify only the rule sets of CSS. Rule sets means selectors and declarations. Selectors and declarations means selector is any tag which we want to style from HTML, and declarations are nothing but properties and values of CSS which we may want to add to the selector. So here external CSS can be used if we want to apply these CSS styles over multiple web pages for particular tags. So now you understand that depending on the requirement of the website, web designer can use any one or more of the types of CSS. So students, here we understand that for us it is very important to know all the properties of CSS which we can add. So let us see the properties of CSS. Here we see the first property is color and its value is color name. So here we have used color property with value blue. So you see blue color for that element. The next property is background color. So here background color is yellow. You see the yellow color background for the element. Font weight makes the text look bolder. So the values are bold or numbers like 100, 200 up till 900. So here the text looks bolder. The next property is font style. For value is italic, oblique and normal. So here you see italic, oblique and normal. Text decoration. You see the effects line through, underline, overline and none. Here the line through gives you the strike effect. This is underline, this is overline and none. Next property is text align. It can align the element to the left, right, center or simply justify. This property is used for the block level tags. So you see here center, left, right and justify. Next is font family. The value is font name. So if we want to set some font for the web page, we can use font family property and assign the font name. The next property is font size. It accepts the numeric value in different units like pixels, point, millimeter, centimeter and inches. Here on the web page, you see the difference between each of them. This is pixels, which is the smallest. This is point, millimeter, centimeter and inch. We have taken one unit for each of them. The next is letter spacing. It accepts the numeric value in different units and it is used to have more spacing between the two characters on the web page. The next property is padding. It accepts the numeric value. Now the padding is used when we want blank space. Here we see the blank space between the element and its contents. So this is the table element and here we see the contents. So here we have used padding property to leave the blank space between the element and its contents. Next property is border. There are many values for border property. So here we have shown the effect of each border style. The first one is solid, double, groove, rich, inset, outset, dotted, dash. The next property is background image. We can use background image property when we want image at the background of an element like table, body, etc. So here as a value you need to specify the URL, that is the path of the image file in the round brackets. The next property is margin left. It accepts the numeric value in different units. Now here you see the margin is left for the text. So students, we have seen the effects of different properties of CSS. But when we are specifying, when we are writing these properties, we have to keep in mind some rules. That is, here you see that between two words there is a hyphen or dash. It is compulsory for us to write this dash. We have to write this property as it is, like font dash size, dash spacing. Otherwise, we get the desired output on the web page. Also, we are not supposed to misspell the spellings of these properties. Now students, let us how to write the codes of CSS. Students, we already know how to write HTML tags. HTML tags have tag attributes and their values. We enclose the HTML tags within the angular bracket. We open the angular bracket, write the tag name, leave one space, write the attribute, then equal to sign and then its value. We can add any number of attributes and finally close the angular bracket. Now similar to this, there is a standard format of writing CSS codes. So let us see the syntax of CSS. Now like HTML has tags, CSS has selector, and like HTML has attributes and values, here we have properties and values. The properties and values together makes one declaration. So one declaration has one property and its value. A selector can have number of declarations. Let us see one example for this. Now let us consider a selector. Here we have used P as a selector. Once we write the selector name, put a angular bracket and then it's a curly bracket, then write the name of property, put colon sign and write its value. Since we want to add one more property, we have used semicolon. So after one property, put one semicolon and add the next property, colon sign and its value. That means, students, here we are writing property name, colon and its value, semicolon, the property name, colon and its value, and so on. So here there are two declarations. So the whole syntax together is called as rule set. So when we are using internal or external CSS, we need to specify the rule sets. So this is all about the introduction to CSS. So today we have seen the full form of CSS, that is cascading style sheets. After that, we have seen how CSS can be used to add different styles to the web page. We have seen different properties of CSS. Then we have seen the types of CSS, that is inline CSS, internal CSS and external CSS. We have also seen the method or the syntax of writing CSS codes. That's all for the today's lecture. So for the notes on this topic, please refer to the link in the description box below. Thank you.